Biden needs oil groups provide an explanation for loss of fuel as expenses upward push. Washington. U.S. President Joe Biden on Wednesday demanded oil companies provide an explanation for why they aren't putting extra gasoline in the marketplace, sharply escalating his rhetoric against enterprise as he faces strain over growing charges. Biden wrote to executives from Marathon Petroleum Corp. (NYSE), MPC, Valero Energy Corp. (NYSE), VLO, and ExxonMobil Corp. (NYSE), XOM, and complained they'd reduce lower back on oil refining to pad their profits, in step with a duplicate of the letter seen by way of. At a time of struggle, refinery earnings margins well above normal being exceeded immediately onto American households are not appropriate, Biden wrote, including the dearth of refining was driving gasoline charges up quicker than oil costs. The loss of refining capacity and ensuing extraordinary refinery profit margins are blunting the effect of the ancient moves my administration has taken to deal with Vladimir Putin's price hike and are riding up expenses for purchasers. The letter is likewise being sent to Phillips 66, NYSE, PSX, Chevron Corp. NYSE, CVX, BP NYSE, BP, and Shell LON, RDSA, a White House professional, who declined to be diagnosed, told. Biden has been intensifying attacks towards oil corporations in current days as U.S. fuel expenses raced to record highs above $5 according to gallon this beyond weekend and because the summer driving season receives beneath manner. Rising gasoline costs have helped power abruptly continual consumer charge inflation and voter anger before November 8 midterm elections in which Biden's Democratic Party is defending its manage of Congress. U.S. purchaser inflation suddenly increased in May, Maine to the largest annual increase in many years. White House officials have hotly debated how to respond to a problem they once concept might fade and now see as in large part out in their manage. Biden has attributed growing oil prices mainly to U.S.-led sanctions that took Russian power elements off the worldwide marketplace after its invasion of Ukraine. But in current days, Biden has taken the combat to foremost oil companies, which can be using rising energy fees to document income. The president, who came into office vowing to reduce U.S. dependence on fossil fuels, now wants to accelerate oil production, that is anticipated to hit document highs inside the United States next 12 months. Exxon made more money than God this year, Biden stated closing week. Exxon made $5.48 billion inside the zone ended March 31, double the year earlier, and informed investors to assume strong earnings to remaining into next 12 months. U.S. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm plans to host an emergency assembly on how refiners can respond to better costs, Biden said, inquiring for a reaction from the oil organizations in advance. He said they ought to offer concrete thoughts to boom oil refining alongside and cause of why they'll have reduced such capability in the ultimate 2 years. We're on a battle footing, Granholm stated in an interview with MSNBC. The price of oil and the rate of gas is precipitating the high fee, the excessive % of inflation around the sector. And so he is asking upon our home and international producers to provide extra. We're not against income, Granholm said, however delivered that after there is a 225% growth in profit year after 12 months it approached something else goes on.